Hello, Mr. Brian.
Well, go on.
So first and foremost, Matt, you do have a warrant for you.
Nice.
Atar and Sparky, probably y'all as well, but like I ain't trying to press that right now unless you want to go to jail after, like, before tsunami hits. Up to you.
Wait, why do I have a warrant? Oh, for stealing them?
Yeah.
I have my
You have an expungement. I know. What the fuck are you doing, Patar?
Trying to be clean.
All right, listen. I'm gonna make you. Maybe we can work something out, Patar, but I need you to like give me something. Like I need Gigi's warehouse.
Boring.
I don't sleep.
What? I'm just saying.
There
like,
was
listen,
no
the man's
foreplay
clean.
involved in that.
Damn,
that was,
he just went
that was
straight into it.
straight
Yeah,
to entry.
I don't play around.
Oh my
like, what?
god.
You need Gigi's
Okay.
warehouse?
Yeah,
Jesus.
find me Gigi's warehouse and I pretend you weren't there.
And what do we get out of it?
You continue to have a clean record.
And that's it?
Yep.
Okay, Brian, what's the real reason?
That's the actual reason. I'll give you 24 hours, and if you let me know, like,
He's
actually
going to think we have it.
you just point me at the location, what the property is, and if you ain't bullshitting me, that warrant doesn't ever get applied.
Why do you assume that we know this type of information?
I don't think you necessarily know, but I think that you have more of an ability to find out than I do.
Mm-hmm. You know who likes to sing?
Who's that?
I think Rust. They like to sing a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, just consider that as a possibility. Like, I'll let you look. I'm not going to hold you to it, but it's just an offer I'm throwing on the table. I'll let you think about it. You know? Yeah, that's it. I just want to know, like, hey, this is one of their warehouses. Easy clap.
Hey, Brian.
My main reason for talking to you guys is like, I'm trying to get like a good understanding of what's going on between like you and Roosters. Now, the reason I do this is as follows. I don't know if you know this, but I do run the UPD's investigative unit.
Yeah.
DA office falls under me. I'm the guy that picks and chooses when a crew gets fucked. But whether I'm pushing like the Rust Act or whether murder or like whatever the fuck it is, I have a different way of doing things. I don't knock on your door at night, you end up with a hut charge, we don't talk to you, your life is ruined, and you don't even know what's going on, right? I take each and every circumstance like for what it is. So where I'm going with this is as follows. I want to understand what y'all's beef is with Roosters so that I can assess if there's a middle ground and I can tell you what the line is. And so that if you end up crossing that line, you know what to expect out of it.
Well, short story short is they have a couple of our chains. They've been roaming around the streets, acting like gangbangers, and whenever we find them, they run straight to Roosters.
Let's go over here just so.
Thank you. That saved me shin pain.
But in reality, our beef isn't with Roosters. It's just the people. There's people who just instantly run there. You know, it's Cerberus in a sense. You know.
The heads of Cerberus.
So hold on a second. They have your chains?
Yeah, a few of them.
Wait,
I'm away in the car. I'm not willing to contribute to the work, like to even facilitating this guy's conversation.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to process this. I wasn't expecting. Okay. So, like over time, like over one incident, or have they been like collecting them?
I think it was. I think it was one incident.
No, it wasn't.
And was it over time?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was over time, and they've been just collecting them in a sense.
Okay.
So all we want is our chains back.
That's it.
Yeah. And they just keep running to Roosters every time we find them. So that's really what it is. They wanna go back to Roosters so that they can push the Rust Act on us, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
So then, okay. So, but how did this begin? Like, why were your chains taken to begin with?
It started long story, a scam. They tried scamming us, blah blah blah. Then everyone wanted to get their get back, blah blah blah. It built up from there. You know how it be.
So there were some shootouts that happened first before the chain stealing.
You're a smart man, Brian. You can piece 1 and 2 together, but that's all we want is our chain. Other than that, we don't care.
You literally just want your chain.
Mhm.
Okay. So then the next question is, because here's where it gets confusing for me. And if I'm confused, you can assume the rest of the PD's confused, because I mean, I'm sure you understand why. I don't believe it's Cerberus, because Cerberus is, there may be members of Cerberus, right? But they're huge, right? And there's a lot of civilians at Roosters, but there are criminal elements. So if we were to like reduce down, can we call, like, is it Lang Gang that's doing it?
That's I won't give you any names, but that's all we want from them.
I got you. But the aggressors are like, let's just call it Lang Gang. Is that a good summary, or does it extend beyond that? I doubt Nancy Drew is clapping you.
I don't know, Brian. I don't.
Muscat,
That's all I'll give you. Is they have our chains. That's what we want.
I got you.
And that's all. That's all that's gonna happen.
Give us some man's fishy, mate.
So let me ask you one more thing, and this is important because this helps me understand whether the line for Rust is being. Let me tell you this. I'm one of the individuals that will help get Rust enacted. I know when it's supposed to apply. I know when it's not, and even then, there's a level of discretion, right? Now, I'm not a believer that the Rust Act should ever be weaponized. I also believe that it's something that should only be used in the most severe circumstances. So in other words, like, if you are hiding behind civilians, that does muddy the waters. And it sounds like you're claiming that that is what they're doing.
I'm just saying, every time we see them, that's where they run off to. And all we want is our chains. That's all.
Okay. But so let me be a little bit more explicit. So, and I had a similar conversation with members of Gulag. I'm sure you've heard they've been getting into beef with them as well. Are they actually running back to Roosters, or are the people you're looking at happening to be at Roosters? Because y'all were clearly went to Roosters today. So
okay. So I'll give an instance. I'm not going to give names, but 2 evenings ago, I got rolled up on, myself and a friend, by 6 individuals. Obviously, it didn't go too well for me. And then within, 10, 15 minutes of that happening, the 6 individuals were just at Roosters.
So they just that's like their base of operations, is what you're trying to say. They're not running to Roosters. It's like you're trying to get at them, but they're using
They'd be
Roosters
doing both.
as like a safe spot.
They'd be doing both.
Yeah, because I've had an instance where I find somebody driving around that's been involved in stuff, and then you try to speak to them or get them to pull over, and they just drive straight back to Roosters, like literally.
So let me ask a question. What, knowing that you could face Rust, I'm not saying that you are, right? But it's a possibility, right? Why, if they're at Roosters, why not wait until they're out? Like, why risk it?
Because they aren't out, ever.
Yeah, and those chains actually mean stuff to us,
Yeah, that's more than just a chain.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can raid for chains.
That's okay. We can get.
We can get them back ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna risk rust for it? Because like, let me kind of paint like a reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm gonna cut it straight. It's been tough on the PD side, right? We're dealing with shootouts with you guys. We're dealing with shootouts on the GG side, to a certain degree. At a certain point, you know, police generally don't like responding to gang shootouts. They don't. I enjoy it because at least I'm interested in like the political shit, what's actually happening, right? I look at it beyond just y'all just shooting each other.
Yeah.
That's not the vast majority. So the reality is like these shootouts happen like every hour, not just from you guys, but just cumulatively. And so cops are going to arrive on scene and they're going to take a very like simplistic take of what took place. And while it might be true, for example, you get into a little shootout, it goes to Roosters, now they're using the roofs, right? So from y'all's perspective, you're like, yo, we're trying to get at these guys and they're running to the Roosters, kind of like it's the hospital, right? You know, people have done that. Like, you know, let's say that's what your perspective is. But then the cops arrive on scene and they just see you guys' bodies at Roosters. From that officers arriving on scene, from their perspective, it looks like you're shooting up an establishment. There may even be some civilians, right? Because granted, there might be some gangbangers there. There's people getting food. There's people with clean records work in the front. They're injured potentially, right? Now, all of a sudden, that's a strike towards the Rust Act.
So, question:
Yeah.
people shooting at us from Roosters, if they're equipped with illegal firearms, deagles, suppressors,
That is something that I have heard about, and it's something that I'm looking into.
yeah,
There is you're not it doesn't like I'm not like ignorant to the fact that that shouldn't be happening, right? Like I can get the perspective of, it's sort of like what I'm telling you guys, right? Like y'all are trying to get your chains, but the thing is like they're holed up in Roosters, so like you're left with very few options, but you're risking rust. In the same vein, their argument is like, well, you know, I need to use a deagle, I need to use a python, otherwise I'm gonna shot down. Well, the thing is, well, you're risking that we come after the business because your security guys are equipped with illegal firearms. So my point there is like, there is no right and wrong on a lot of these aspects. Well, there's a little bit of a muddied water, and by me trying to figure out where it is, I can at least try to draw the lines. But honestly, I mean, listen, they're on thin ice as well. Now, how the chips end up falling, I don't know yet. This is kind of new territory for a lot of folks.
yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, I feel like you're wasting your time looking at us and GG. I feel like it's we're in the open. It's pretty obvious what we're doing, but they're hiding behind laws, but they shouldn't be, really. You know,
that isn't entirely true, and I tried to tell Google Gang this yesterday as well. Is they may think that they're hiding behind the law, but I'm not a dumbass, and I'm not wasting my talking to you guys, because by understanding your perspective, I have a better understanding of what I'm looking at when I get to a crime scene. Oh shit, it's
yeah. That's sad. I'm kind of upset we didn't get to finish that conversation. It was being good. Yeah.